Premier League predictions, round number 12. It's the biggest game of the season. Is it the title decider? It's Liverpool versus Manchester City.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. I get to do the introduction, and I am very excited. Let me quickly start by saying that we are in association with... Shut up, Ian. Pipe down until I tell you to. We are in association with Grandstand Bettors. Please go have a look at them. They're mildly better at this than we are. Very, very much significantly better. Professionals. They're professionals at this. Could you please, if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy the channel, give it a like and a subscribe, and in everything you can, feel free to donate blood to us or money. We'll take either of the two.
Ding ding, hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Ian, now, very quickly, apparently we drew 8-all last week, and I believe you have a tiebreaker?
I do have a tiebreaker for you, Thomas. Just want to say quickly to everybody, if you want to skip all this, but you shouldn't, we do timestamp the games, so you can just jump ahead to the predictions of the first game. But as we tied 8-all, I give Thomas a one-off trivia question. He has a 50-50 shot of getting it right. So far, he has got one right and one wrong when he's had to do this so far. Let's see how we get on. Thomas, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So we're talking Premier League all-time goal scorers this week. Alan Shearer obviously leads the way with 260 goals, but I'm looking a little bit further down the list. And I want you to tell me, out of these two players, which one is higher on the list. Okay? And it is between Harry Kane, Robin van Persie.
Oy vey. Oy vey. Gonna have to go with a Silver Fox, Robin van Persie.
You are correct, sir!
Yes! Finally! A win!
I was desperately thinking that all day. I was thinking, like, who can I put Kane against?
Are they?
Oh.
Are they really close?
They're Robin van Persie is 12th on 144. Kane is 13th on 131. I'm still up 6-5, but I'm not happy with this at all. Lead us into the first game.
Liverpool versus Manchester City.
What a game to lead us in with.
Yeah.
I don't think it's understating it to say this is the biggest game in the world.
Ever.
Don't know about ever, because, Oxford have had some pretty big games. These two sides have been far head and shoulders above everybody else. You could even say Liverpool have been head and shoulders above City.
Well, I think that Liverpool are really, really, really good. And I think Man City are really, really good. But I think Man City seem to like conceding goals this year. I think Liverpool refuse to lose. They've got 31 points of a possible 33. I see them winning this. I see a title marker being laid down here. I see 3-0 to Liverpool.
Do you think this decides the title?
No.
I haven't given my prediction yet, and I also am going to back Liverpool to win this one. I just think Anfield is such a fortress. I think they're just it's going to be like that Champions League game a few years ago, where it's just a horrible day for City, a horrible evening for City. Liverpool going to win this 3-0.
Yeah, copying me.
Thomas, watch out! The Eagles are coming. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace.
Chelsea are fast becoming my favorite team to watch. The hatred that we all seem to have for Chelsea just seems to be melting away with their play. I wax lyrical about Christian Pulisic quite a lot, about Mason Mount, about Tammy Abraham's ability to actually lead a line. I'd like to see Olivier Giroud play a little bit more, but even Jorginho seems to have figured out how to pass the ball left and right. So I got Chelsea to win this one. Palace like being away, but I got Chelsea winning this one 3-1.
The contrast between Palace away and Palace at home is staggering. They're so dull when they play at home. They just struggle to score. I think only Newcastle have scored like less goals at home than Palace, which is really surprising considering how good they are when they play away. That being said, you've summed it up very nicely for Chelsea. They're going to be too strong, and I think they're going to win by 2-0.
Oh, Ian, talk to me. It's Burnley. That's West Ham United.
Well, we talked about Palace being good away from home. Is there a worse side away from home than West Ham? Absolutely dreadful away.
Is there a worse team in the Premier League right now? Like, they're almost trying to challenge the bottom three. They're trying to get there. They're digging a hole.
Yeah, when they're bad, they're very bad. They just, I mean, they were 3-0 down to Newcastle, and they could have been even more down. They really are not looking good at the moment, and they're going to come to a Burnley side who are going to need to get back to winning ways. Dyche is going to be hammering those players all week, you would imagine, after 2 pretty bad losses. And you've got to say Burnley are going to win. I think it's going to be a 2-0 win to the Clarets.
Ooh, well, I've also got the home team winning, but I'm going with the most classic Burnley scoreline ever. 1-0 to the Jugs. Newcastle United versus AFC Bournemouth.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. What a result last weekend. Newcastle ran riot down in London, 3-0 up after no time against West Ham. And it was only because Steve Bruce is such a kind and considerate man that he reined his guys in and didn't make them rack up double figures against a torrid West Ham side. This Newcastle front three looked really good. Joel Linton, Almiron and St Maximan. All he's got to do is teach him how to score and he'll have a pretty good front three there. But that being said, I don't think you could be in any doubt that you've got to give him a chance. He's the second coming of Kevin Keegan.
Honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
And Newcastle are going to win this game against a pretty ropey Bournemouth side led by a hack fraud in Eddie Howe. They're going to win 2-0.
About that hack fraud in Eddie Howe, he went and played a real football team called Man United and beat them 1-0 last week with some pretty solid play. And he seems to have gone through this period of them not looking that good, but they haven't shipped goals. And what they've done is they've stayed in the hunt, and all of a sudden they're in 7th place with 16 points. They look like a pretty good unit, and they won their last game against Man United. This is a team that really stands a chance of stepping up to that next level and being in the top half of the Premier League, as opposed to Steve Bruce, who, once this random 3-game run of wins ends, he's got nothing left. So, Bournemouth are away from home, which is not their strongest place to play, but they're going to bring the heat against this Newcastle side. And like my favourite prediction for Bournemouth always is, Bournemouth 3, Newcastle United 2.
You can keep your Liverpool Man City because this is Norwich versus Watford.
Well, Ian, what we have here is the 2 worst teams in the Premier League, both of them vying to get down as quickly as possible. The glow from Norwich's crazy victory against Man City has completely left. This is a team that look bereft of ideas and have no idea where they're going, only bettered by the fact that Watford would like to set a Premier League low points total this year. They've picked up half their points in the last 5 matches. Did you know how many that was, Ian? It was 3. Don't answer. You know the answer.
Do I get a point for that?
We'll give you a point for that. Well
okay,
done.
so I'm ahead 7-5 on predictions now.
Why do I agree to anything? I have got the 2 worst sides in the Premier League playing out to everyone's least favorite scoreline, 8-8. No, I jest. 0-0.
For some reason, I think Watford are going to win this game. I think they're just slowly getting a little bit better under Sanchez Flores. It's not that they're looking good by any stretch. It's more to the fact that Norwich will be desperate to win this one, and I think that the crowd will get really edgy if they don't take the lead early. And I can see Watford nicking it 1-0.
Oh, but Ian, talk to me. It's Southampton versus Everton.
I'll let you do the Everton stuff because I'm all on Southampton at the moment. As you know, I'm no longer a King Ralph bandwagon. I'm a big fan of King Ralph, but the sooner he's out of that cesspool of a football club, the better for everybody. He won't resign though, because he wants that sweet payday from being fired, which is surely only around the corner. They got a lot of praise for their performance against City, but they were always going to play better in that game than they did in that debacle against Leicester. And let's be fair, they were like a championship side or a League One side. They got a lucky goal and then they put 10 men behind the ball and just defended for their lives. And it was only the fact City was so wasteful that they didn't give them a pasting. In the end, the right result happened and City won. This doesn't mean that Southampton have turned a corner. It doesn't mean they've improved. Marco Silva's going to limp on with a win here. 2-0 to Everton.
I mean, I'm echoing that Everton win this, but I mean, like the wheelie bin set afire and just rolling around the streets is in full flow. I mean, what is this Everton side? And now with this Gomez injury, I mean, both of these managers will probably not be here at the end of the season. Neither of them are playing good football. Everton are patently a better side than Southampton, who are a championship side. I don't even think they have a striker any Premier League team would want. When they go down, there'll be 2 or 3 players picked off their team, but that's it. I've got Everton to win 1-0, but it's not going to be a classic.
Tottenham Hotspur, Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, just from one good result to another right now, like they can't even help themselves. They pasted Burnley to the wall 3-0, which is not a scoreline Burnley normally give up. Spurs, on the other hand, they're wheeling to the end of the Pochettino championship run. It's not Pochettino's fault, but the players don't look up for it anymore. Dele Alli gets worse every year. I've said this already. I say it every video now. Eriksen's ready to go. Kane can't stay on. It just doesn't make sense. The team, I don't know where they go from here. I don't know why you'd back Spurs in anything. I've got a 1-1 draw in this.
Do you know, that's exactly the same as what I'm doing. I'm a big fan of Chris Wilder. Here is a picture of him celebrating Oxford winning the playoff final in 2010 against York. Yeah, it's all going very horribly for Tottenham.
16 weeks to go. 16 weeks to go. 26 weeks. Oh, God!
You know, they're probably going to have Kane back in the side after he was ill for the last game. Heinous leg breaker Son will be suspended for this game. Let's see if Eriksen turns up. Probably won't. And as I said, I think Sheffield United will just nick a point. They've been good at that lately. 1-1.
Yeah, there's a lot of belief in Sheffield United, and they're halfway to safety. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Aston Villa.
Aston Villa did it again. They put in a really good performance and ended up with nothing to show for it. Just like they did against Spurs, just like they did against Arsenal. Them and Sheffield United look really good for the promoted sides. Wolves getting back into their groove week on week. But I see this was a bit of a Midlands derby, this one. I can see it being a draw. I can see it being 2-2.
2-2. You got goals in this. I am predicting a 1-0 scoreline for Wolves. They are improving. Aston Villa just seem unlucky to me. And I feel like when you come up against a team that's improving, that has belief, I just don't see them getting lucky and getting many goals out of this.
Batten down the hatches, Arsenal fans. Leicester versus Arsenal.
Oh, yes! You know what's probably going to happen? Arsenal are probably going to play the best game of the season, but holy shit, Unai Emery. You are hanging on by a thread. Why did you make Xhaka captain? And what the hell are you thinking? And where is Mesut Ozil? And why are you playing Wenger ball? Like, what possessed you? When you did your interview for this, did they not go like, we're looking for a change from Arsene Wenger? And you went, yes, look at what I will bring you. And then you brought exactly Arsene. Like, is Arsene just on the phone to you all the time? It's awful. It's not fun to even watch them play. They're vapid. None of them care. I mean, holy shit, David Luiz. Like, what the hell? Socrates. They have an ancient Greek philosopher at the back. That's how badly they're doing. Waited all season for that joke, ladies and gentlemen. Leicester, on the other hand, are flying. They're in 3rd place in the Premier League, and they're coming up against a shit show of a team. And right now, they are picking teams like this off for fun. I've got Leicester beating Arsenal. I've got Unai Emery getting sacked. Leicester 3, Arsenal 0.
Yeah, they're going backwards. Absolutely going backwards. Yeah, they can't hold on to leads at home now. They've absolutely got no stomach for the fight when they play away from home. Do what I said last week. Get rid of Emery. Get Sean Dyche. Get him from Burnley. I'm being serious about this.
I'm not arguing. I want Eddie Howe from Ed.
I think he'd be really good. I think he should go. I honestly think he'd be really good at Arsenal. I think you should really think about giving him a chance. Don't just get Mourinho in for a season or two until he poisons the water. Seriously think about who you want to get in to manage the bloody club. Talk too much about Arsenal. Leicester have been absolutely incredible. Rodgers is doing a superb job. And of course they're going to beat them. And I can't do anything other than match your score, Tom. It's going to be 3-0 to Leicester.
All I can see right now is like it being the 1600s, and this isn't like an ancient Italy, and Mourinho has this cloak up so you can barely see his face and this little tincture, and he's in like Venice, and the clean water system, he's just there like...
Yeah.
I was the mayor once, but I'll kill them all.
We've talked way too long about all these games that in the end of the day mean absolutely nothing. Because it's time for the main event.
Manchester United versus Brighton and Hove and Albion Football Club.
Thomas, I do not know where to start with this one. I do not know what to predict for this one. This one could literally be anything. Oh, go on. Pick the bones out of the Man United performance.
I don't know. Their last game, right? They lose 1-0, and they lose because Wan-Bissaka, for some reason, is like trying to get the ball. Is it Josh King or is it Callum Wilson? Josh King. When his back is to goal, 6 yards out. Like, just shepherd him. He can't go the other way, and yet you kind of jump in and he flicks the ball over, and then it's a point blank shot, but.
And he does it all slowly. It's slow. He does it. It's like a quick turn. He slowly brings the ball down. He slowly turns and he scores. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
That was one of the first times though where if Solskjaer had come out at the end of that and been like, I can see improvements, I would have understood it, because for 30 or 40 minutes, Man United were in complete control. And then in the second half, when they finally started playing with 15 minutes left, Bournemouth were just, they couldn't get the ball off them. It's just attack. And you just wonder at what point the Man United players are going to show some fucking passion. And they're going to just go into games and be like, we have to be men instead of boys. We have to stop doing this. We have to cut out the stupid errors. But also, we have to take chances. Paul Pogba isn't the answer here. The answer is stop playing Fred and just kick the ball forward. Just kick it forward. They're so afraid. And it's just so demoralizing to watch a team that's clearly playing in fear, but for no reason, because it doesn't look like that's what Solskjaer wants them to do. It really does feel like he puts a team out and then they do the opposite of anything they've been told. Like, it's like, all right, we want to press, and then the team sits backwards and he's like, all right, midfielders, I want you high up the pitch, and they're like, you want to sit in front of the back four? Let's sit in front of the back four. That sounds like good. Like, it's tough to watch, and Brighton this season have been a revelation. They're playing really well. They're in 14th or 15th in the league. They got a win. We thought they'd go down. Preseason, we thought they'd go down. Right now, they really don't look like it. That being said, I can't not back Man United. I think they'll win 2-0.
Yeah, I'm glad you said a little bit on Brighton, and it's just mainly because I don't really want to talk about Man United, because you summed it all up really nicely. I think the biggest thing about Brighton was getting wins and playing better football, and that's certainly what Graham Potter's done. He certainly improved things a lot. And I think they're going to go up there. Seagulls! And I think they're going to win 2-1.
I mean, we won't belabor this, we've been talking long enough, but with Man United right now, it's not like Arsenal where you expect the worst every performance. I think we've kind of gotten past that stage with Man United. That losing run's over, but you don't know what to predict. They don't lose by 3 or 4 goals, and it's not that they're shocked, it's that when they lose,
don't they?
It's one or two of the most boring goals that they concede, and you just
But that's the thing as well, that I can't see them making a decision on Solskjaer. I can just see him, unless another manager that they want comes available, they won't get rid of it.
It doesn't matter really who's available, because the top managers are all in top jobs, and I'm not talking. Zidane isn't a top manager, and I think we know that. I think that's kind of thought about in football. He's not a tactician; he's a man manager. And Man United need to start getting away from man managers and to play managers that want to revolutionize and be progressive. What they need is a director of football that can put a long-term strategy in place, and we can kind of see said strategy. That would be nice. I think that's all anyone wants.
Before we go over a lot of old ground, we did do a video on this, and you can click on it up in the top corner there if you want to see more of our thoughts a couple of weeks ago on the whole debacle or situation at Man United. That will do it for the reviews this weekend. Hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel, and go and check out Grandstand Betters. Thomas, do you have anything else to add?
Ian, if you're looking for detailed football analysis, you're in the wrong place.